This is the AI worker that's going to make you a millionaire, that's going to bring all the money that you need in the world to you. So what this AI worker would do, what this AI agent would do, is it will fetch jobs from multiple RSS feeds. It will store those jobs in Google Sheets. It will remove duplicates automatically. It will filter by your niche, and then it will send a clean daily digest to. So let's go. There are some background knowledge I need to set here. Now the remote jobs you want to get, they're already in websites. You understand? There are websites that every day they have a lot of remote jobs. People, they are very popular, so employers go to them to they have their own intricate ways of getting remote jobs. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do that on your own, right? So what we can do is we get several of those websites. In this case, we are using 3 websites. Now the reason we are using 3 websites is so that we don't miss any remote jobs. We must get the jobs, you understand. So now the 3 sites we'll be working with, let me just say 3 sites we'll be working with will be https colon remoteok.com/remote dash jobs.ross. So one thing I'm going to do right now is to copy all of this and open a new tab just so you see what I'm talking about. Now remoteok.com is a site that gets remote jobs, yeah, but this RSS part is the part that makes the job that they get available for us to use. So I'm going to press enter on that. Then you can see the jobs that are available, right? And this is available in RSS format like this. So we can see this is the first item, senior software engineer. This is a company, this is a description. You can see that tags and all of that. So that happens over and over again. So you see cloud engineer, that's the next one. There's implementation specialist. There is implementation specialist, Spanish speaking. They're just all the roles that are available to date. That's what you're seeing right now. Okay, so that's for remote OK. Now apart from remote OK, we also have other ones. Let's also come here to check we work remotely. All right, let's see. Yeah, copy and paste here. All right, so you see we also have the same thing here. We except that this one has a lot of other things. So you see about the role, this is the description. We are seeking a middle whatever security engineer. What is the title of this specific? Let's see. Okay, this is the title here. We have Dusk Labs, security engineer, research and tests, as you can see there. All right, so you see that's good for that. Now these 2 that we have, they're already good enough if you ask me, but if we have enough time we might still just, oh no, I know what to do. All right, so I'm going to leave this 3rd one as the assignment, for this class. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, right? Then you are going to do this 3rd one on your own as the assignment. All right, now to make sure that you are in this class, okay, you are going to do this 3rd one as the assignment. So if you are listening right now, I want you to take this 3rd one, https colon /remotive.com, right, /feed. Take it and type it in the comment section. Let me know that you got to this point in the video. All right, remotive.com/feed. okay, now another thing I want you to do is take this /feed and see, go and check it out the way we checked out remotely.com. see if it works. If it doesn't work, then find a way around the website to look for the link. Look for the link that works. All right, look for the link that works and then paste it on the comment section, the link that worked for you. If remotive.com/feed did not work for you, if it worked for you, then just go ahead and put the remotive.com/feed. all right. Okay, so that's number one assignment, because in this class I'm not just going to sit here doing everything. We are going to have a whole lot of assignments to do together, so you guys need to get used to it. I'm going to have a very interactive class today. All right, the first thing we're going to do is, first of all, we had said that we need to store these jobs in Google Sheets. We are going to use Google Sheets as our memory, because we don't want our AI worker to send a job several times. We don't want it repeating the same job several times, so we need to have some sort of memory, right? And that memory, we want to use a very simple one. We could use a database, but I don't want to get very complex on you guys. But we can use a very simple one like Google Sheets. So we'll be using Google Sheets as our memory, but we need to now do some sort of setting up here and there. Don't worry, it's very easy. I'm here with you. Okay, so we're just going to do it step by step. Okay, now the first thing we are going to do is go to console.cloud.google.com. okay, yeah, that's where we start from, because we need to find a way to tell Google to use Google Sheets. All right, so this is how we do it. Now we're going to create a new project. Okay, now this is where we come to new projects. Okay, so you have new projects here. You can see this. I'm just going to create a new project. All right, so what's the name of my new project? Let's say AI remote jobs. AI remote jobs, that should be good. Then we'll just click on remote, create, sorry, and you can see, yeah, so you can see it has created the projects, AI remote jobs, and then we now click on select project. Select project means let that now be the active project. All right, okay, now having done that, next thing we now need to do is to enable Google Sheets API. We can just come here and search for Google Sheets API. All right, so we have Google Sheets API here. Let's close this. All right, so we'll just go ahead and click on enable. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to create OAuth credentials. All right, so we have to come to API and services and come to credentials. Okay, then so we have OAuth credentials here. Create credentials, right? So we'll come here to create credentials. Can you see it? Okay, we're in API and services, and then we came to credentials. Now we come to create credentials and OAuth client ID. That's our major interests. OAuth client ID. Alright, says a client ID is used to identify a single app in Google or servers. If your app runs on multiple platforms, each will need its own yada yada yada. Alright, so configure consent screen. Okay, let's click on get started and say okay, yep. I think this is app name. Let's call the app N8N job agent. All right, I've chosen my email. All right, let's take external, and then next. All right, I agree. Continue. Create. Okay. So let's give it some time. Auth configuration created. Alright, so let's come back here to see if we're in the right place. API and services and credentials. Yeah. Okay, so we had to do that before we continue with create credentials. I'm glad I had that issue so that anybody that has it will just fix it. Alright, so but not every one of you will have it. If you've already done that, at maybe you've done one or two things that required you doing all of that branding thing, you don't need to do it again. All right, so we'll come here to application type and we'll choose web. All right, web application name, web client 1. All right, that's good. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to change anything there. Okay, now you're going to be asked to add URI, as you can see here. All right, so we need to, now this is the part where you need to be a little bit careful. Okay, now you should go to your N10 environment. Let me go back again and restart this. Create credentials, auth client ID, application type, web, here. Good. Now you can skip this authorized JavaScript origin. This is the one that is important. All right, so you need to copy your N10 URL. You need to copy it /rest. Are you seeing it here? I just type this /rest /OAuth to credential. Be very careful /callback. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that should be it. That works. So no, I don't want to add another one, just this one. Then create. Okay, so it gives me, as you can see, the client ID and the client secret and all of that. So you have to just leave this screen the way it is, like this, because you'll be needing to come and copy certain things here and there, so just leave it the way it is, like this. Okay, so let's go back to our N10 environment. We're already through with that part of it. Okay, now if you don't want to leave it like this, you can copy the client ID and copy the secret and paste it somewhere. Okay, now those have to be kept very carefully. All right, now the next thing is to create a Google Sheet. Now we're going to, all right, sheets.google.com. Let's see if I got that correct. All right, so we have to create a blank sheet, and all right, so these are the fields: link, okay, title, okay, company, year, source, dates underscore added. All right. All right, now you need to know that this link is what we're going to be using as the unique identifier. If you want to, because the idea, you need to understand what we're trying to do. The idea in all of these things, why we're creating Google Sheets and all of this, is because we want to make sure that we want to make sure that we get rid of duplication, right? That means that the same job is not sent to you twice. Now that means that we need to have one way of deciding that this job has been sent before, and the way of doing that is the field links, right? Link is a unique thing for each job posting that we are getting. Anyway, if you don't get that, don't worry, you're going to understand it. Now that's all we need to do here. Okay, now we need to go to anything and create workflow. Yes, so we are going to call this, what are we going to call this workflow? Let's call it remote. So come here and change it to remote jobs AI. Okay, yep. All right, so first of all, let's add trigger manually. Now normally we want this to run on a schedule, right? Yes, like run every 8 hours, every 10 hours, those kinds of things. But for now, let's just use trigger manually. Later you can come and change it to in fact, let me do this so that you see what I'm trying to do. Now this is the schedule trigger, right? When you double click it, you see this where you have to put in like the interval, how many days in between, you know, what hour do you want it to, you know, all of these normal things. Okay, now but right now we don't want a schedule trigger. What do we want? We want a trigger manually because we want to just click execute workflow and want it to run right now because we are still building. Okay, so later on you can come change all of that. Okay, with this you don't need to do anything, just add the manual trigger as we have done here. That's it. Okay, so the next thing at the beginning of this class I told you guys that we're going to use these websites. Let me bring that up. I told you guys we're going to use these websites, right? And these websites have RSS feeds. We've already talked about that. Now this is where we are going to use all of that. So first of all, you come here and click on this plus, then type RSS. Now you can see RSS read there. All right, now we need to now go and copy the first site, the first RSS. I think that was remoteok.com. Okay, yeah, so we'll just do that. That's all. That is all. All right, now we need to now add another one, RSS read. This time we're using weworkremotely.com/remote jobs. Yep, so we'll bring it here and we paste. All right, that's good. Now let's see. No, this is not what we want, so let's delete this. We don't want read this and then come and read this. No, we want both of them to be parallel, to run parallel like this. So we drag this. Oh, let me go back in case I was too fast there. Okay, now it was like this, right? So we delete this connection here. Yep, then we drag this here and drag this one here and create the connection here. All right, so RSS read 1 has we work remotely. That's good. RSS read has remoteok.com. Remember that I said that you guys were going to work on remotive.com on your own. That's the assignment. Okay, so we have this, and in case you've not typed it on the comment section, go and do it right now because it is very important. I don't play with my assignments. Okay, teacher. Anyway, so we can now go ahead and click on execute workflow and then see how this goes. Now you see this is running. It's already getting 100 items from here, man. This guy is good, man. While this is running, just give it time. You see it's going around getting its thing. You just need to fold your hands and watch. Okay, now when it's through with this, it's now going to start with this. As you can see, it started with this. It's getting its own 100. So while it's getting this one, let's go and check this one. Now you can see it has gotten 100 remote jobs. 100. So when you come here to check the output, you can see the title of the first remote job. You see the link, you see the publication date, you see the content, you see everything. All right, that's for the first one. You see the second one, you see the third one. Now as you can see, these all of these up till I think 100 there about, yes, up till 100, you know, very easy. So it has gotten from the remote side RSS feed. So we have enterprise opener. So these are just the jobs that are on for today. So we already have 200, which is way much more than anybody would need. But anyway, so we have that, and we've been able to fetch. So what have we achieved now? We've been able to fetch remote jobs from the sites, right? We've been able to fetch them. All right, so we need to now merge the the uh, the news that we get from remote, okay, the jobs that we get from remote, okay, I beg your pardon, and those that we get from we work remotely. So you must understand that we are fetching from these two RSS feeds, and we need to use both of them together. All right, now that means that we need to find a way to merge the input from this remote OK RSS feed, and we work remotely. We've been able to get those two. If you to merge inputs, usually what you have to do is to click on the plus here and then type merge. Okay. Now when you type merge, the first node that appears, merge data of multiple streams once, data from both, merges data of multiple streams once, data from both is available. Oh, okay. Yeah, data from both is available. You just have a merge version of all the streams that you input into your merge node. So we'll click on merge, and then we just close this, and we have something like this. Also, by default, it links this to input one. We also have to link this to input two. All right, so we have something like this. I'm going to change this from, let me make it trigger manually, right? Just for the sake of this testing, a cron job will be if you want to schedule the task, but we don't want to do that. We just want to trigger manually by clicking on this for now. All right. All right. So what I need to do now is to click on the execute workflow. I just want to show you guys what happens when you click on the execute workflow and how it fetches from the remote. Okay, you can see it has fetched 96 items from here, and then now it's going to, when it's true, it's fetching the entire 96 from here. It's going to come here to fetch from we work remotely. Now, when it does that, this merge node is supposed to combine what it got from here with what it got from here. So we have, okay, so here it's fetching 100 items, here it's fetching 96 items. Yeah, so the merge node is going to output something around 196 thereabouts. Just because it's merging. Now we are having this merge node because we are using two RSS fetch nodes. All right. For some of you, you will not have to use two. Maybe one will just be okay for you. And if one is okay for you, you do not need the merge node. All right. So the merge node has done its thing or is still doing its thing. So you see this thing going round the node. It still means that it's busy. And then when it's true,
you're going to have this stop, and then you're going to get a message to just say that it was successful or otherwise. I'm going to click on save just to make sure that, yeah, so we see workflow executed successfully. Oh, I like success messages. When you're building workflows, success messages are very, very good. Yeah, so we see 96 from this node, and we work node is 100 items. So 96 from remote OK, we work remotely is 100 items. Now, but when we come here, you can see 196 items. That means it was able to merge everything together. All right, so we need to move to the next node. Now, our next node will be to normalize the data that we got from the merge node. I'm just going to come here and click on plus and edit edit field sets. Yeah, that's the node we're going to add. Now, if you've been following my classes, you know that you're already used to this node by now. Uh, Now I want us to uh, rename it to normalize. All right, that's just me. You don't have to do that. Anyway, I'm going to double click on it, and then we have now this should be left as manual mapping. Now, one of the reasons why we need this node is if you look at the title that's coming from the merge node, you see that there's this character here, slash n, and then there's this inappropriate space. When I did this on my own, I found out that there were some characters that you really don't need, and they were going to mess up your data. And at the end of the day, you have something that will be having errors here and there. So what I'm just trying to say is there are characters inside this your title that might give you errors on the long run. So clean them up and all of that. We have to use the normalize. All right. Okay, so we are just going to come here to add a field. We are still going to call this field title, right? But value, I know you guys are just used to dragging title here, but if we do that, it means we're just taking exactly what is here and we're not making any changes, and we want to make changes, all right? So there is a particular code that you would need to paste. I'm just going to leave the code in the description of this video, and I am going to paste the code here. Yep. All right, so this code is a very simple code. It just means that take the title, whatever title is coming from the merge field, and replace all the nonsense characters that we don't need. Replace them, remove them, and that's essentially what this does. The trim method here is to remove unnecessary spaces, but you see slash n slash t, all of this means that now this slash n normally means that there's the return character. I don't want to get into all of that. Return character is something like when you press enter, you know. So your title already has enter in it. So all of those nonsense characters that we don't really need, this code is going to remove them and give us a clean title, which is in this case software engineer reliability. All right, and that's just good. All right. Now also we need to add another field. There's the category. Let me add that. Now the category, we merged data from two different RSS feeds. Not all of them had category, right? Um, some of them did not have category, some of them had category. We're not really particular about category, but what we are doing here is just to make sure that we don't have errors in the future. All right. So we're going to come here and let me give you what you paste here. Uh, Control. All right. Now this again, will be in the description of this video. Now, this might show an error now because this particular data we are working with, this particular data is coming from remote OK. You understand? But don't worry, just we just want to have something in the category field because at some point we are going to need category, you know. Now, for some, it's going to show undefined. But we're not using the category field for anything specifically. Oh my God. Anyway, so just go ahead. It's going to give us undefined, and that's just okay. We don't need the category for anything. We just want to make sure that it doesn't give us any issue in the future. All right. That's why we're doing this. Now, the next thing we need to do is to include other input field. All right. Now that means that all the other ones, links, pop dates, content snippets, all of them are going to be added. But we already have title. Do you understand? So we have to say all except. All right, all except, and then we are going to add, we're going to bring title into this, all except title, right? And that should be all for that. If you have any questions about this, please leave your questions in the comment section. I'm always watching my phone to give replies, and I have people in this community that are always ready to answer you too. But personally, I would always answer you. But even if you need if you need some more in-depth coaching, then you can join the WhatsApp group. But if you need a one-on-one, I started doing one-on-ones with I think that is the reason why this video took so long because I was having one-on-ones with um several people. I really need everybody to be on the same space as we go on this 30 days challenge, right? So I started doing one-on-one for a token, not so much, but if you just need me to debug your code, go through from beginning to the end until we achieve what you are trying to achieve, then just book a one-on-one. It's not really expensive. Anyway, so we are through with this and we have the normalized field, and that's good. Now, our next node, I keep calling node field. All right, our next node will be the JavaScript code. So I decided to add another node that is going to, first of all, save so for instance, we're getting 96 items. We're getting 196 items. This is still a lot, every day, daily, you're just getting 190, still a lot. And more importantly, not the entire 196 have to do with me. As an AI developer, I don't need all of them. I don't need something on, let's say, front end development and all that. I don't need that. I just want to get uh, jobs, remote jobs on AI development. Do you understand? So I just want to get remote jobs that have to do with AI. So we need to insert a node here. Let's call it code. Let's type code. Yep. Now you have to choose the specific code, either in JavaScript or in Python. I choose JavaScript. All right. Now we leave this as once for all. We leave the next one as JavaScript, and then we replace all of this. Replace all of this with this code that I'm also going to leave in the description. Now, I should also tell you guys that all the codes that we use here, they're present on my website, right? I'm going to leave my website here, and then all you have to do is just go to your website. You can download everything that has to do with this specific course, and it's all for free. Am I not the best Father Christmas in the world? All right, so but I noticed that a lot of times, a lot of the correspondence I get from you guys, a lot of the messages I get from you guys is asking me how to get this, how to get this, how to get this, and sometimes I just have to keep typing the same thing, check the description, check the description, check the. Instead of doing all of that, let's just have one place where you just know, if you're in this community, you know that if you want to get things about this particular course, this is where you go to get it. Aha. then you don't need to ask me the same questions over and over and over again. All right, so this code that we are using here, I have also left it in my website, and that's the only thing we need for this particular node. All right. Um, so I'm just going to come here. Yeah, to make sure everything is okay. Run for once, JavaScript, and then the code. Now, yes, I need to say this. Now, notice that keywords is equal to AI, machine learning, LLM, automation, Python, data, agents, developer, LangChain, OpenAI. Now, these are things that have to do with artificial intelligence. That's because it's specific to me. Now, you have to take these things, you have to take this. In fact, just take the entire code, take it to ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever AI that you use, and tell it to rewrite it for, let's say, a virtual assistant. You understand? It should replace the keywords with words that will be relevant to a virtual assistant if you are a virtual assistant. So my point is, you have to rework this to suit your specific situation. All right, don't just use this as is. All right. Okay, so we've said that.
Now, we just need to come here to click on plus and then Google Sheets. Let's see. Yep, that's it there. All right, the operation we're interested in is read. So let's see, where's the read? Create, delete. No, 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 no. Get rows. That's what we are interested in. All right. So we have this, and then we now need to come here to create a new credential, right? Okay, don't worry about this. All right, so we created client ID the other time and client secret and all of that. So now we have to go get them. All right. So client ID copy, and we come here to paste it here. Client secrets, copy. Yeah. So paste here as well. Allowed. Now we sign in with Google. Yeah. Sign in. Oh yeah, I think we're good. We're good. You see, I didn't do anything. I just closed it and restarted again. I just closed it and reopened the node. It's not like I restarted the whole thing. I just reopened the node. All right. So you can click on continue, select all, continue. Yep. So connection successful. Right. So our account is connected. That's it. All right. Now, since it's connected, next thing we want to do is get rows from list. Let's see, from lists. No, I don't think it's from list. All right, so it says Google Drive API has not been used in projects, yada, yada, yada. All right, enable it by going to this. So what I did was, while I was selecting, I just used Control C while I was selecting, okay? While I was dragging through it, I used Control C. All right, so it says we've not enabled something, something, something. So we have to come here and make sure. See, one thing that's going to help you a lot is to take note of the errors that you're being given. All right, so it says we've not enabled, so we have to enable. When you get an error, you need to read that error. Now, a lot of people have the habit of just shutting out in their mind once they see an error. Oh, you need to read that error and use that error to solve the problem. All right, you need to read that error and use that error to solve the problem. All right, so I need to close this and go back. We'll see from list. Yeah, so that is our untitled spreadsheet. I could, let me see. We can even rename it. Now the name right now is untitled spreadsheet, but that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, let me see. Let's change this to what do we call it now? Remote job, remote job AI. All right. Then come back here. Let's see. I just didn't like the way it was being called untitled spreadsheets. Yeah, so remote job AI. Okay, so there's a sheet in remote job AI that we need. Sheet one. Good. Yeah. All right, all right, all right.
Okay, so the last node reads fetches all our already existing, all the jobs that has been rendered to us. The last node fetches all the jobs that have been rendered to us, like all the process jobs that we've had before. They are already in Google Sheets, right? So it fetches all of that. Now the next node is a code node that is going to say that a particular node, if a particular job has been processed, don't just skip that job. All right. So we are going to click on JavaScript again, and all you have to do again is to paste this code here. Uh, all you have to do is to paste this code here, and that is it. Now, again, this code will be ready, will be available for you on my website. Yeah, all you have to do is just visit the website and download for free the resources for this particular video. All right, that's all you have to do essentially. Now, what this does is it it checks the output from the last node, which is all the remote jobs that have been saved before, and then checks. Okay, now let me explain what this code does. Right now, the Google Sheet node we had created. Let's assume that the name of that Google Sheet node is read Google Sheet. Now I'm going to copy this, and we need to go and rename it, because see, the name right now is get rules in Google Sheets, but actually when it's referencing it's not using that name, so we have to use the name that it uses. So read Google Sheets is the name there. Okay, so we have to rename that to read Google Sheets. All right, now let's come again. Now you see there's also the keyword filter. All right, keyword filter. Now this keyword filter is supposed to be this node, this code in JavaScript, because we just use the default names, right? But I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to rename it to this. Uh, yeah, keyword filter. Rename. All right. Now, having renamed this code will now work. Why? See, it's going to take everything from the keyword filter, which is the node that get all the links that have to do that have to do with my specific niche, which is AI now, and it's going to compare them with what we already had saved in the Google Sheet node. All right, so it's going to compare this with this, and if it already exists, then it's going to drop it. So for everyone that already exists, it drops them. For the ones that don't exist, it just continues. All right. All right. So that's what we have. We've achieved that. Now, at this point, we now need to now I've told you guys before that every time you are fetching a lot of data, please don't just process the entire data at once. Especially if you are going to be using AI, you are going to be using platforms like Telegram, because you are going to be perceived as a spammer. Your bot is going to be perceived, your AI agent is going to be perceived as a spamming or a malicious AI. You understand? Because you need to know that you might have good intentions, but there are many people who are creating AI for very, very malicious intentions. Now, they do not know you specifically, but there are characteristics that they check out for. For instance, the spamming attitude, the attitude of processing several things in a very short span, like 1 second or 1 minute, you have processed like once they detect that characteristic, they put you in the category of people who are having malicious intentions and you start getting those consequences. You don't want that for yourself. So one of the things that you can do is to insert a loop. A loop means that you are going to loop over items. Can you see it? Split in batches, loop over items. So I'm going to talk about this now. Now, a loop means that you are going to deal with, so even if we are getting like 100 stops here, it's going to deal with all of them one after the other. And then we are going to also add a wait node somewhere in front so that after dealing with one news, it's going to wait for some time, let's say 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever, before it processes the next one. So you just chill and then you just be getting the remote job alerts one after the other, while your AI agent is not perceived as a malicious one. All right, so we've added loop over items, and yeah. Now there are some nodes here that I'm not really going to talk about because we already spoke about this in previous classes. Please read the first, make sure you watch the video that has to do with creating your first AI, because that in that video I told you how to use open router and how to create an account, how to get your authentication token, and how to create it here on and how to put it here in anything. I already spoke about those things, and I don't want this video to be too long. So everything that has to do with Telegram, yes. Also, I'm not going to talk about the Telegram node. I'm not going to talk about those. So we have a Telegram node. Is it inside this loop we are going to add it's inside this loop that we're going to add the Telegram node and um the AI node. Now, if you do not know about those, there's no reason to fret. Just go and watch this particular video here. I'm going to reference the video here so you will see it. All right. Now, but the next thing, we've already created the loop. We don't need to do anything about this loop. We're just saying process one item at a time. That's the only thing. Now, we don't need to do anything about that. Okay, so this is the node where we implement the HTTP request. As you already know, we like to use HTTP request because we are using Open Router. The reason why we are using Open Router is because with Open Router we can leverage on free AI models, or we don't want to be testing these things with personal funds and all of that, and we don't want any barrier. We don't want the issue of I don't have money and all of that, so we can use free ones. And I have told you guys before, this has to be we are getting from okay. Now if you've created your account in Open Router, your URL here should be this. Again, you can get this from my website. You're just going to I'm going to leave the link again, and you find the link downloadable. All right. Okay, so it's just openrouter.ai dot openrouter.ai slash API slash v1 slash chart slash completions. Now that's what you need to type here as the URL. Okay, as for authentication, we use generic, okay, and we use the header auth here. Under generic auth type, we use the header auth, and we've already created. In the last video, I already told you guys how to create your credentials. We've already created, so you see it has naturally fed that into this for me, so I don't need to do that. All right, now I also told you guys in the last class that the import CURL, can you see this? Yeah. Now there's a code you're going to get from Open Router. There's a CURL code you're going to get. You just need to click on import CURL and paste that code here. Now, once you paste that code here, like I explained in the last class, please watch that video. It is a prerequisite to this video. Now, once you paste that code here, it's going to auto complete all of the things that I'm now going to have to do manually here. There are some things that I really did not need to do manually. If I don't want to go back and get all of those details from Open Router. All right, so I'm just going to click on header using the fields below, header parameters, authentication. So I'm going to be a little fast with this because I don't expect you guys to be entering it manually. Okay, it's better you just use the CURL and just go ahead and auto populate the whole fields there. But for me, I've already done that before. All right, now so authentication, bearer this. I already explained why this will work for you in the last class, so please make sure you watch that video. All right, now we're also going to turn on send body. Yeah, yeah, we're going to turn on send body and JSON using the fields below. Body parameter value, nope, using JSON, not the fields below. And then I'm going to paste this. Okay, so after you import your CURL, you're going to have some sort of JSON here. Now, this is the part that you need to now see. My own JSON here says you're an expert AI. This is the prompt that your agent is going to be using. All right. You're an expert AI job recruiter. Determine if this job is related to AI, machine learning, LLM, automation. Now, all of these things should be replaced with all of these things I just highlighted. AI, machine learning, LLMs, automation, data science, or AI engineering should be replaced with the the words and terms that are relevant to you specifically. All right. Now it says let your output be less than 100 words. You need that, so let's leave that. And then the description, it gets the description. I'm trying to explain all of this means. It gets the description from content snippets. So let's come here to this. Okay, I've not executed this node. Okay, when I execute this node, you're going to see that there is a field called content snippet. It takes the first 400. I don't, in case we have a description that is too long, I just want to take the first 400 and then replace any special characters in the first 400, then add that description to the prompts that we are giving to the AI. I hope you get that. Anyway, that works, and that's all we need here in this HTTP request. Now, let me go over it again. Make sure this method is get. Make sure you paste in this link here, https colon double slash open router dot ai slash api slash v1 slash chart slash completions, and then authentication, choose generic credential type, and then generic auth type, choose header auth. And if you have already created your credentials, like I talked about in the last video, you're going to have this. Now, at this point, I also said that you should import CURL. The CURL, you get it from the model. I already explained this in the last class. You get it from the free model that you are using. The name of the free model, if you come here to check, you see model is Google slash Gamma 34B. There are many free models, okay? You can choose any one, but I've used this one and it works for me, so that's why I'm using it for this class. Now, when you go to that free model in Open Router, you're going to see that there's the place to just copy CURL. Now you take that CURL, import CURL, and just paste it. Now once you paste it, it's going to auto do all these things that I'm now doing manually. Okay, but shall just make sure that you turn on send headers and using fields below. Name is authentication, value is bearer open router. Now the reason why this works is because in our credential that we created, this header credential, we've already done this. We've already put our authentication token. Okay, now having done that, the next thing is it will naturally turn on send body, which will be this. And I said that in your JSON, this is JSON here. All right. In your JSON, make sure you replace if this job is related to from this to replace all of this up till AI engineering, replace it with terms that have to do with your own field. Okay, so yeah, we've done that, and that's all for that. So we now have an AI node here. Okay, so what's the next thing for us to do now? Okay, so there's a certain explanation I need to do. Now, mind you, what we are getting from this code here is, let me show. Okay, no, I need to execute. Okay, now what we are getting from there is title, link, publication date, content snippets, all of that. Okay, so what we now did is, although we are getting like let's say 50 or more jobs, we now for each of them, right, create an AI summary. That's what this node is doing. Creating an AI summary. You understand? Uh-huh. Now that's what this AI node is doing. Now we have to now merge that AI summary. Listen to this, make sure you get this. We have to now merge that AI summary with what we are getting, like link, like title. We still need those. You understand? Okay, so we are going to click on this plus here. You can see this here. We're going to click on this plus here, and let's just type code. Is it code we would need at this point? No, it's not code, it's edit field. Yes, edit field or the sets in bracket sets. That's what we need. All right, so let me show you this. Now, if you've been following my classes, you are already used to this edit field. Is for us to clean up data and to make sure that we have a certain number of variables and values that we are going to use later on, right? Okay, so this is the edit field. Now, this edit field is going to take two inputs. For instance, it's taking the summary that the AI created here, the AI node created here. It's also taking things like link, things like title, and all of that. So we are going to double. So first thing let me do that again in case I did that too fast. I drew another connector from here to the edit field. All right, so it's getting inputs from this loop over items, which is links, title, and all of that, and then it's also getting the summary. All right, Now we'll double click on the edit field because we now want to set all of those things. Oh, yeah. So the first thing we'll do here is to have to the first thing we'll do here is to add a field. We'll call it AI underscore summary, and uh, this is the code. Okay, so for normally what we do is just drag into we just what we used to do in previous classes is just drag into this, and it was very easy, but I kept having errors with that, so I found a way around it. And this code, I'm so tired of saying this code is going to be in the resource for this course found in my website. All right, so what this code means, let me explain this. What this code means is check the HTTP request, this which is this node, and look for the field called choices. Choices is an array. Check for index zero, look for message and content. It's just really simple. All right. I'm sure there's a way to just drag it and still have this, but I just prefer to show you guys that you can just paste this code and save yourself all of that headache. All right, so we're going to add another field, which will be the link field. We'll add the link field. We'll also add the now to add the link field, just type link here. All right, and paste this code. Okay, reference node does not exist. Loop jobs. Okay, yeah. So you see, this is easy to debug. Now, there's a node called loop jobs, okay? And let me just copy that node. So you see, our loop node was not named correctly. I hope you guys are learning all of these things. So, because we just inserted the loop node, we did not rename it, okay? But the code I'm using already uses loop jobs, so I'm just going to paste loop jobs here and rename. Okay, so I've renamed this. When we go back here, you can see that it now recognizes it as something that works. So click create another one. We call it title. All right. It still is in the loop job. I'm going to paste this and change this to title. Yep, that should work. Now we'll add another field. We've done title. I think we'll need category. Let's just add it because it's in the Google Sheets, right? So let's just go ahead and add it. So come category. We don't really need it. In fact, for some of them, it's going to be showing undefined, but that shouldn't bother you. Okay. All right. So we have category. We're going to add more. Uh, yeah, we need description and then we need dates. All right. So description, right? You paste this, right? Yeah. Then add field. Yeah, date added, and this is what we should paste. Date underscore added. All right, and then we paste this. Yep. Yeah, that's that for our set field, and we are good to go. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we still have this replace me. I've not replaced it, so let's just chill for now. I'm going to replace it very soon. Okay, so the next field is our Telegram field. Okay. Now the Telegram field is not It's not a complex field. I already told you guys. Already in the last video, I already showed you guys how to go to bots further and how to create your bots and how to get chat ID, how to create your Telegram credentials. I am so not going to go over all of that because I don't want this video to be too long. The only part I'm going to go over is okay. So let's add the Telegram send message. Send a document, send location, send a chat message, send a text message. Yes. No, no, no. Send a text message. Yeah, that's it here. Okay, so you see, because I already created the Telegram credential, it just picks it up. Resource is message, operation is send message, chat ID. You already know how to get your chat ID. I'm not going to bother you with that. Now, on that text, you have to come and click expression and paste this. All right. Now, this is not a lot. We're just getting title, AI summary from the last node. All of those things that you can see we are not adding category and all of that. Okay, so that should be all. I'm going to add my chat ID, but I don't want you guys to see it. So, uh, yep, that should be all. So in all of this, I should get a message on Telegram that says new AI remote job and shows me the title, shows me the AI summary, and then gives me the link. I should get that. All right. Okay. Okay. So this error you're seeing here is because you see parameter chat ID is required. I'm going to add my chat ID later on. Okay. So yeah. So we have this, and now at this point, we now need to we already have the final product of what we need, which is what everything we've got from this, everything we set in this edit field. We can now write to what's it called? Google Sheets. Yes. Mind you, we there was a point where we read from Google Sheet, but now we want to write to Google Sheets. So I'm just going to type Google Sheets, right? Yeah, so append row in sheets. This is going to add, the first one we used get row. This time we're adding. All right. Now it has taken my Google Sheets credential, sheets within documents, append row. Now we come here on that documents. We choose. Okay, so I've already created this document, remote job here, and I showed you guys in the last video how to create a document in your Google Sheets, all right, and how to link it to this credential. Now it is seeing it because it is linked to this credential. Now the sheet is sheet one also. Leave all of this as from list, and just take sheet one. All right. Now it's going to fetch. If this works for you, it's going to fetch um, all of the things you need. So it's going to fetch all of the columns that exist in your sheets. All right, so we're just going to under link, I'm going to drag link. Under title, I'm going to drag title. Category, I'm just going to leave it like that. Description, I'm going to bring description here. Dates added, I'm going to take this date added and put it here. All right, I'm going to put these categories here and see what happens. Okay, so that's it's usually going to say undefined because we're reading from two sources and not all of them have categories. So anyway, if it has, it's going to add it. If it does not have, it's just going to say undefined, right? So that's what we have now. But this whole thing now, this is not the, I don't think this is the best flow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this connection here. And this should write to Google Sheets just as it's sending us a um, just as it's sending us a telegram message, it should do the same at the same time. So at this point, there's still one more thing that we need to do. We need to add a wait node, right? This is what we will make your AI to pause for a certain time after sending messages to you. It's going to wait and before it continues again. All right, so I'm choosing 5 minutes. So change this wait units after time interval. That's leave it as it is. Wait amount is 5 by default. Leave it as it is. Wait unit should be minutes for me, right? I'm not in a hurry to get all of them all at once. And now I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this. I want this to come. I want this to. Okay, no, this doesn't need to lead anywhere. This can just end here. While this one comes to the wait node, but I need to drag from this wait node to the beginning of the loop jobs. So we have this, and that is the end. Like I said before, if you have any issues with any of this, you can join my WhatsApp group where I'm always ready to answer your questions. You can also leave your question in the comment section here. Number one thing I want to say is if you have any issues with all of this, you can join my WhatsApp community where I'm always there to answer your questions. But apart from me, there are also other people that are very good with this that can also answer your question. I have admins that they are very good. And apart from that, if you now need a one-on-one, you just want me to do a one-on-one with you. Some people want that because you want me to be able, maybe you're building something specific, and you want me to just, answer all your every question, debug every node with you. I'll just get on a Google Meet, and my students are usually very happy when we do that, because they get a lot of value from it. Yeah, you can also reach me and we'll do that together. Now, I'm also leaving this, everything that you have that you need for this, all of the codes that you need for this, I'm leaving it in a file. And that file you can download for free in my website. I'm going to leave the link in the description to my website and this specific resource. So I'm going to leave that in the resource. But apart from that, you can download all of this workflow. In one of the videos, I think I showed how to, import a workflow, and you don't have to go and create all the nodes one after the other. You can import all of these. Um, I have the workflow for, but it's not free. That is not free. You have to pay a token for that, and it's not really much. I think it's less than about $1 or two. Anyway, you can get that if you want. So if you want the one-on-one coaching, you can do that.